Now, if you're currently stretching and it looks like this, doing static stretching, holding for 30 to 60 seconds, or maybe it looks like this, I want you to stop it right now because you're actually increasing your risk of injury by up to 30%. And I'm telling you right now, the pros do not do this. In fact, no pro athletes in any sport are doing static stretching before they go out. Not only is it increasing your risk factors, but also it decreases your power, your performance, your agility, and your balance. Everything you're trying to achieve by stretching, you're actually having the opposite effect. So what I'm going to teach you in this video is what to do instead, what the pros do and what all athletes in professional sports are doing so that you do the right things, so that you decrease your injury and increase your performance. Okay, let's get to it. All right, now, you might have noticed the background's different. That's right, I've come inside because what the heck was I thinking? It's August in Mexico, it's stinking hot outside, so I thought I'd come inside so I can get some air conditioning so I can explain to you without being perspiring out in the sunshine. Right, now, just also, I want to let you know that my name is Mark Perrin-Jones, for those of you who don't know me. Now, I've been doing massage and acupuncture for 30 years. I've treated thousands upon thousands of people over these 30 years, all throughout the world, from Olympic athletes to sports professionals. And so what I'm doing is combining that knowledge with my love of pickleball. Right, now, so what's going on when it comes to static stretching? And why is this one of the worst things you can do? Right, because as I said to you, it will actually decrease your speed, your power, your agility, and your balance, and it's going to increase your rate of injury, your risks of injury, because what you're doing now, without getting too technical, I'll keep it simple for you, is when you're doing this, you are teaching the nervous system to relax, because that's what you want to do, aren't you? You're trying to elongate those muscles, to elongate those fibers. So the nervous system is telling the body to relax the muscle fibers, right? It's called autogenic inhibition. So it's relaxing these muscle fibers. Okay, so basically you're telling the body to relax, slow down, we don't need to do any work. But that's exactly the wrong message you want to give it, because you want to be doing, so basically you're giving it a chill out, take it easy, there's nothing to see here, we're not doing anything, we're going to relax. Right, but we're not. We want to get our bodies ready to play pickleball. So that's why. So you're elongating the muscles, and what happens then is your nervous system is too relaxed. Your muscles are in an elongated state, so they're not going to recoil like they should. So you need your muscles fired up, warmed up. So basically, in a nutshell, what you're doing is relaxing them. So now you've got elongated, lengthened muscles that are cold, right? Remember I said, no, so then you're going to start running around on these, so they're not going to be having this beautiful recoil, which is what you want to have, fast movements, active movements. So we want warm muscles that are ready for movement, right? So static stretching, that is not what you want to do for a warm-up, right? You want to do that after you've done the exercise, the pickleball in this case, right? So you can do this to do exactly what I just said to you, to relax them, to lengthen them after you've done that. But what we want to do now, before we go on the court, is what's known as dynamic stretching. So what's dynamic stretching? Dynamic stretching is basically warming up your muscles, moving them, giving them gentle stretches in the movements that you're going to do, right? So let me show you just some basic ways. Now, we don't have to have hard and fast rules because you're going to get this very, very quickly, but I'll give you a basic guideline as to what you can do on the pickleball court or before that when you're waiting, so that you know how to warm up your body, and then you can kind of get creative with it, because there's no sort of rights and wrongs as long as you know the movement you're about to do. Okay, so let's have a look at a dynamic warm-up. Now remember, all you'll want to do with a dynamic warm-up is really mimic the actions that you're going to do on court, or whatever sport that is. It doesn't matter what sport, whether it's your swimming, you want to do the actions that you're about to do to warm your body up, to prepare them. Okay, so if we think about, so the things that you were trying to do before, you're thinking, okay, static stretching. Now remember, stretching for 30 to 60 seconds Get your nervous system into a relaxed mode to relax the muscles. We talked about this. So what are we going to do instead? So let's just think about, instead of stretching these, we're going to still put them on a stretch, but in a more active phase. So you can do that by just doing butt kicks. So we're going to warm up and stretch at the same time. So you can do these on the spot. Now remember, whatever you're going to do here, it depends on how, what difficulties you have with hips, with knees, whatever. So if something hurts, don't do it, right? You're going to have to do less of it, but you're still trying to do certain actions. Now, once you get this, you can walk around, of course. I'm just doing it on the spot, but you can start to walk around doing these butt kicks, right? This is now activating the quads and stretching them at the same time. So you're now doing dynamic stretching for your quads, starting to warm these up, getting them ready for action. So of course you can then, once you get warmed up a little bit, you can start making them a little more active, like this. And you're starting to warm them up. Again, depending on your fitness levels and any problems that you may have, joint problems, that sort of thing. So now we're creating better blood flow. Now, what about our hamstrings? We can start looking at them. So you can get up to here, and there are many things you could do, but you could just start doing these, just working through here. Once again, you are warming up the hamstrings and putting them on a stretch at the same time. So you can do something like this, no problems at all. This, instead of what? Instead of going out and stretching them statically like this, switching off the muscles, okay? So you do both sides of this. Now remember, this is vitally important because warm-ups, the rate of injuries in pickleball is skyrocketing. So by doing a warm-up is incredibly important, okay? A warm-up, by the way, is not standing at the net, which so many people do, standing at the net and starting dinking. That is not your warm-up. You need to be warmed up way before doing that. Dinking is part of the warm-up for the game, not for your body, all right? So you can do simple things like this, okay? Working that, and as I said, the butt kicks like this. Now, we're going to work our groins. Now, before, you were doing a static stretch, switching off the muscles and the nervous system, telling the body to relax. We want it activated, don't we? So what we can do, you're still stretching, but it's more active. Okay, and once again, once you start off slowly, and then again, if you're fit, you're active, you can start to bounce. Really start to activate it, okay? So once again, I'm getting a stretch through the groin, but I'm also activating, getting blood flow to the joints, to the muscles, and really activating my body. Not only my body, my nervous system, but also my mind. My mind is going, okay, I'm getting prepared to do this now. Okay, so groins, hips. Now, we can start doing these warm-ups through here. We're now loosening up our lower back, our buttocks, and also the hamstrings as well. So once again, come up, stretch. Again, if this is too much for you, you'll back it off. You just go to this point, okay? But it is still worlds away than holding this for 30 seconds on your back or what have you, all right? Now, we can do lunges. Now, again, as I'm doing these, now if you need a chair to hold onto for your balance, by all means, you can do it on the fence post. So forwards and backwards. So now we're starting to work the hip flexors and we're really getting our body involved, okay? Swap sides. Now, I'm just showing you some guidelines. You can do other things by all means if you see on the internet, but just remember, dynamic stretching is getting your body ready for it. So there's your lower body. Now, we can do little bounces. We can do a cross like this. Again, you don't need to overthink this. Just think, I got to get my body warmed up. What are the actions I'm going to be doing? So think of this. We're going to be running to the net. So you could just do these. Ready position. Come back. Ready position. And do these. Now, if that's too much for you, you just walk. But you're still warming up your body, okay? You want to get more active? Come in. Okay, once again, now we're warmed up. Let's do some side steps. And all of these starting to warm up your body. This is worlds away from doing this and this. You don't want to be doing these. Right, there's your lower body. So we can do all sorts of like heel walks, toe walks. Again, it's very, very simple. Don't overthink it, but make sure you do it. Now, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing rotations, aren't we? So let's just start to rotate. Again, slowly. If you feel pain, just back it off up to that point where you feel pain, or just below it. Just below you feel pain. Again, the pain when I'm talking about should be 2 on the scale of 10 if you're feeling any. All right, so they're doing like this. Okay, you can do some squats. Just think. Now also, when we're doing this, we can involve our upper body. Now, remember this one? So we now dynamically stretch them. Okay, get your knees involved. Let's make this. Now, again, this could take 2 to 3 minutes maximum, but let's get our knees involved and our calves, our hips, everything's involved. Okay, now we're going to be doing smashes, aren't we? Well, hopefully. So again, use your arms and you can use your whole body in this. So again, rotations one way, the other. You can start off small, go to bigger rotations like this, and then we can start mimicking the motions. Right? Just like you would if you play golf. Now, you can get your racket. Now, if in golf, what they might do, they get 2 clubs, so it's extra weight to warm up their body. If you got a cover, you can do a cover. Don't have to, you can just use normal paddle. So once you've done this, right, we start to get the feeling of this, getting our body, put a little bit of extra weight on the lever. So now with the cover, we're now putting extra weight in. Okay, so, and again, you can just make it fun. Look. Right, again, like I say, you don't have to overthink it. You just have to do actions that are going to be applicable to what you're going to do on the court or the swimming pool or whatever, right? Then you can take the cover off and then start doing it as if you're playing, right? You can do these movements here to warm up your shoulders above your head. Now, if you've got a bad shoulder, obviously do it underneath, but start off with this. Right, so you're starting off and then you put the weight in. Just like if you're playing golf, you'd do it without your golf club, all right, and then you'd put in your golf club and they'll do 2 golf clubs or the golf club with a cover on the head to put more weight, then they'll take it off, feels a lot lighter, and away you go. So, dynamic stretching. This is worlds away from static stretching. As you now know, this is what not to do. Static stretching, when would you use this? You use this after you've played your games to then relax and lengthen your muscles. And I'll go into that in another video. But this is what you need to be doing before. Now, remember, I see people all day, every day, thinking that this is what it looks like, right? Oh, we go out and dink. Yep, oh, court 2, yeah. And suddenly they're getting injured or they're stiff and they're just not ready to go. And they're not playing the best game, are they? Because dinking is not a warm-up, all right? You need to warm up your body to get it ready to start your dinking. And you're going to play so much better because you're going to be ready mentally and physically, okay? So, dynamic warming, dynamic stretching, do this as your warm-up before you play, and you're going to feel the benefits, not only physically, but mentally, and you're going to see your game improve. So don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, and also comment below. And if you're ever in Cozumel, Mexico, come and visit us here at Pickleball.